Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? I go by RB and this is Philly Take with RB. If you guys are enjoying the content of the channel, take 1 second, go ahead and smash that like button. And if you are new and want to stay updated on some great Philly content, well, be sure to hit that subscribe. So today I want to discuss a topic that has been highly recommended here on the channel, and I'm excited to get into it. It pertains to the Philadelphia 76ers and our top potential trade targets going into this offseason. Now, at the current state, we really don't know what is going on. There is not a lot of certainty in the current situation. As of now, I've just been researching, guys, looking into different scenarios, just really putting my thinking cap on, and these are some guys who I really think could have an impact on the Sixers roster. Now, I'm not saying they are the best pieces that will be available in this coming offseason. I'm not saying that they are the most talented guys, but I think that these pieces will impact the Sixers roster in the best way possible. Now, I wanted to make a top 3 list, but you know, I've been looking at a lot of scenarios, and I just had to make it a top 4 list because there's really 4 guys who I am high on for the Sixers to go out and be aggressive with this offseason. So why don't we get right into it? Number 4 on the list for me is Derrick Rose. Now, yes, D Rose, 31 years old, 11 years of experience. D Rose is a seasoned vet, right? Throughout the last couple years, we've seen the revival of Derrick Rose, right? If the Sixers were able to go out and acquire him, would be an amazing depth piece for this team. D Rose, the last 2 seasons, 2 seasons ago was with the Minnesota Timberwolves. He was averaging 27 minutes a night off the bench primarily, which is amazing. He was averaging 18 points a game, 4 assists. This guy is going to come in and be that backup point guard that you need. I'm not expecting D Rose, if we were to get him to come in and be a guy that is going to knock down multiple threes a night. I'm not expecting him to be a reliable shooter, but what I am expecting him to do is be that guy who can put it on the floor. We know D Rose, and this has kind of led to his downfall in some way. He plays aggressive, but I like it. He's tenacious, whether it's on offense or defense. He's going to put the ball on the floor. He's going to get to the rack, and he's going to get some buckets, and also he's going to help space the floor. And let's not forget either that D Rose is a pick and roll type of player. So as we've talked about, we want the Sixers to implement more pick and rolls within their offense. If they were able to bring him in, maybe move Ben to the 4 in some situations, maybe even have Ben as the roller on the pick and rolls, or Joel Embiid. D Rose knows how to run the pick and roll, and he would be solid. After this season, he only has 1 year left, and he's getting paid $7 million to come off the bench. I just think with the Pistons, with their new GM, they're in that rebuilding stage. They're going to want to dump that salary of a vet most likely, and I think the Sixers could acquire him pretty easily, to be honest. Number 3 on my list has to be CJ McCollum. Now, I made a video about CJ McCollum a little while back. People really enjoyed that, and I really think he could be a viable piece for the Sixers to go out and acquire this offseason. First off, I could see this offseason being the one they finally take the gamble, part ways with McCollum. I mean, it would do so much for this Sixers team. CJ McCollum is 28 years old. He is in his prime. He continues to get better. He had a slow start in the NBA. CJ McCollum has gone up from 20 points a game up to about 23 points a game over the last couple years, and that is what he is going to give you every single night. He's going to come in. He's going to hit shots. This guy is up around, 38% mostly, and at the same time, he's going to be able to put the ball down on the floor and make plays. That's what he does. He averages 4 or 5 assists a game, and I'd say a majority of the time has been healthy throughout his career, so you can definitely rely on CJ, and he's going to show up and ball every single night. I really think this is a viable option for the Sixers given the Blazers situation as well. And looking at CJ's contract now, at the current time, he is on a 4-year deal, and he's making about 26-27 million a year. I could definitely see them trying to break up that duo. Finally, they've been talking about it for a while, and if they were to do so and they started to shop McCollum, Philadelphia would be a great destination to come on and bring him here. Now, for number 2 on my list, it has to be Buddy Hield, another guy that I've talked about before and made a video on before this whole thing. We even saw, especially when the Sixers played the Kings, there were situations like Luke Walton was not using Buddy Hield in key situations. He was bringing him off the bench. It was a weird situation, and I could easily see the Kings in whatever rebuild they are trying to do, trying to move on from him and maybe bring in some more assets, maybe bring in a key veteran big man to their squad. Over the last, couple years, I'd say 3 years, Buddy Hield, he has put on weight. He is feasible on both sides of the floor. He has learned how to put the ball on the floor on offense, and he has really just developed a lot. He's a guy who's going to be able to knock down shots. I can trust Buddy Hield to come in and hit 3 to 4 threes a night, which is what we need. He's going to hit those threes, and he's going to hold his own on the defensive side of the floor. I think he's like 6'5", and he's certainly putting on weight. Like I said, he's able to move quickly laterally. Buddy Hield is averaging almost 20 points a game. He has for the last 2 years now. In terms of his shooting, I mean, we already know what Buddy Hield is. We saw it all the way from college translate to the pros. This guy is going to average 40 to 42% from behind the arc, which is incredible. He is a guy that the Sixers need. Time and time again, Ben Simmons can space the floor. He can draw in multiple defenders, but when he kicks it out this season, we can't really rely on someone to knock down that shot. Guess what? If Buddy Hield is out on the arc, Ben Simmons is going to hit him, dish him up a lot, and Buddy Hield is going to knock down those shots, but Buddy Hield is going to be consistent, I'm telling you, and he just keeps getting better and better and better. He's averaging almost 5 rebounds a game. He's averaging 3 assists a game. Like I said, he's developing into a pro. He's seeing the court a lot clearer. He's understanding the game more. He's a much smarter player. I think that it would not be too hard to go out and acquire Buddy Hield given the contract situation. You look at what he's making right now, which is pretty much nothing. He's still on his rookie contract, but this new extension that he signed, he's going to be making about, I think, $27 million a year, which kind of aligns with the contract of Al Horford. Now, Tobias, you'd have to throw in more, obviously, but Al Horford, it wouldn't be too hard. You might have to throw in a couple bench pieces. You might have to throw in a guy like Bjelica, or I think Corey Joseph's on the Kings, maybe even a reunion of Rashawn Holmes. Whether there's a couple picks included or not, maybe some second rounders, I think it would not be too hard, which is why he is up more on my list, and I think the fit is absolutely perfect. He does really what we are lacking in its entirety this season, and that is shooting, having those 3-and-D guys who we can count on every single night. And the last and final top trade target for the Sixers this offseason, my number one guy by far. You guys have convinced me. The more and more I look into it, the more and more it really makes sense. And that is no other than Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine, let me tell you guys, there are stars in this league nowadays, but there are some that are not talked about given their situation. And that is a perfect example of LaVine. With the Minnesota Timberwolves, we know, how they like to crumble. Now with the Chicago Bulls, that coaching staff, everything going on, Zach LaVine really doesn't get the shine that he deserves. He's so underrated. He's young. He's getting better and better and better. He is a star-studded athlete in this league, really. And if the Sixers were able to acquire a piece like Zach LaVine, it would change absolutely everything. Let's not forget, Zach LaVine at the current time has had, I think, 5-6 years of experience in the NBA. He is 24 years old. 24 years old. This guy's averaging 25.5 points a game. He's averaging 5 rebounds a game, 4 to 5 assists a game. He's averaging almost 1.5 to 2 steals a game. This guy does it on both ends of the floor. Not only is he a guy who can snipe from the floor, I mean, he averages about 38% from behind the arc. Not only can he snipe shots, not only does he have that smooth flowing jump shot, but Zach LaVine is a baller. He is going to make everybody else around him, when guys aren't hitting shots, when we need someone to step up, he's going to be able to put the ball on the floor, hit him with a hezzy, hit him with a crossover, create space, find his own shot, which is what we desperately need, and he's going to be able to knock him down, especially given the offense we play right now. Zach LaVine would be absolutely perfect. He is a sniper, both sides of the floor. He plays aggressive. He is tenacious. I love the way that he plays. He's athletic. I mean, let's not forget he's a 2-time slam dunk contest champion. This guy is unbelievable. He just seems to get better and better, and it's crazy. He's only going to get better. Now, the one concern you have with Zach is the injury problem. He did tear his ACL with Minnesota years ago. He did have some minor nagging injuries, but if that's the biggest thing and we're banking on health, and he really hasn't had too many major injuries besides the ACL, I'm going to take that every single day. This guy is unbelievable. He gets to the line. He does everything that your offense needs to do. Imagine him coming in. He can play off the ball. He can play on the ball, have Simmons be the cutter. He can roll. He can feed Joel Embiid. He can do so much for your team, and you don't have to worry about his personality being a problem. Minnesota is just a bad place to play, and Chicago, given that coach right now, Jim Boylan, given that system, they do not believe in that culture. Given some of the pieces they have drafted over the last couple years, I expected the Bulls to be in a much better state than they are right now. Given Zach LaVine's contract, he's making about $19.5 million every single year. He's under contract for 2 more seasons. He's being underpaid, okay? Now, if the Sixers were to acquire him, we would have to give up probably, I would say, a guy like an Al Horford, okay? We would have to move things around, but I think we would be able to figure it out. I would either expect the Bulls to go for a first-round pick, just given that they are trying to build something special there and they're still trying to acquire pieces, but they do have some nice ones in place. They could possibly ask for a guy like a Tobias Harris to be able to put everything together there, you know, handle a lot of the ball duties, really just help some of those younger guys. This would be kind of hard to put together. Like I'm saying, it all would line up with the contracts because LaVine is not being paid as much as he should. So they might have to include a couple more pieces from their bench. I'm sure that Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid are untouchable. So if we were able to not give either of those two up and acquire Zach LaVine, he would make this team so much better. We would be championship caliber from day one. And even if Ben Simmons doesn't start shooting the ball, Zach LaVine would be there to bail him out every single time. He's going to knock down shots. Like I said, he's going to get to the basket. He's an athletic finisher. He does everything. And the more and more I watch Zach LaVine, and the more I watch how he plays, like I said, you don't have to worry about him being the guy to have to take 20, 30 shots a night. He would fit alongside Ben Simmons so perfectly, and I'm really hoping that the Sixers could make a push, send some type of package, just intrigue the Chicago Bulls and get them looking our way, because if Zach LaVine comes here, this is going to be one of the title favorites going into next season. But you guys can let me know what you think based on my list. You can let me know your thoughts or any other guys or suggestions down below. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.
Perfect. Perfect.